Okay, so Jaime Munguia versus Sergei Derevyanchenko prediction. Not a big fan of this fight, to be honest with you. I think that this fight would have been very interesting had it happened 3 or 4 years ago. Derevyanchenko at one point was a top 5 middleweight. He had a split decision with Danny Jacobs that could have went either way. He had a great fight in a Fight of the Year contender with Triple G. That really could have went either way, in my opinion. Close fights, and Danny Jacobs, at the time, was a top 5 middleweight in his own right. Obviously, Golovkin was too. He had a little bit of a lackluster performance against Charlo. Charlo won that fight, but I expected a little bit more out of Derevyanchenko from that fight, and that was kind of the beginning of the end for Derevyanchenko, in my opinion. Then he lost a majority decision fight to Carlos Adames, all right? But at one point in time, 3-4 years ago, he was a legit top 5, top 6 middleweight, and he gave, like I say, he gave Danny Jacobs and Gennady Golovkin all that they could handle. In very close fights that could have went either way, right? But now, Sergei Derevyanchenko, he's 37 years old. He hasn't been the most active. Since he lost to Carlos Adames, I think 2 years ago, he had one bounce-back fight last year against a jabroni, beat him on points, A, B, C, and D. His record's 14 wins, 4 defeats, with 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Now, as far as Jaime Munguia goes, man, it's not me trying to shit on another Mexican fighter by any means, but the level of competition this guy's been fighting is just fucking pathetic, to be quite frank with you guys. Again, and Jaime Munguia is going to be huge next to Derevyanchenko. And again, if this was a prime Derevyanchenko, we're having a different conversation. But it's not a prime Derevyanchenko. It's a 37-year-old Derevyanchenko that's been in a million wars with Charlo, with Danny Jacobs, with Gennady Golovkin, with Jack Colkay, that's been through the ringer. Like I say, Jaime Munguia is going to have a huge size advantage against Sergei. He's about 4 inches taller. He'll have about 4 inches of reach over Sergei Derevyanchenko, if memory serves. He's about 5'9", and Munguia is about 6 foot, 6'1" on the dot. So, also, and Munguia's got a 72-inch reach, and I believe Derevyanchenko has a 68.5-inch reach. So big size advantage for the younger man and Jaime Munguia. Just not a very good fight, man. Now, if Sergei Derevyanchenko winds the clock back and we get to see a little bit of the older version of him, I do think he can make this fight interesting. But with that being said, I got to lean towards Jaime Munguia in this fight, man. Again, not a fight we were calling for that anybody wanted to see. Is a shot to pieces Derevyanchenko a little bit better than the competition he has been fighting as of recently? Yes, but it's still not up to par what we expect from Jaime Munguia. So I do think Derevyanchenko will go in there and give him a good run for his money. But again, he's the much smaller man. He's past his prime. He's 37 years old. He's at a huge size disadvantage and probably at a power disadvantage too, because Jaime Munguia, even though I'm not a big fan of him, he is improving. Okay, so somewhat of an interesting fight, and not to mention there's a huge age discrepancy there too. Munguia's 26 or 27 years old. Derevyanchenko's 37. So obviously, I'm going with Jaime Munguia in this fight. I think Derevyanchenko will make it interesting in spurts, but ultimately, the younger, bigger, fresher guy of the two, and probably the harder puncher of the two, is going to get the job done. So I do think it'll go rounds. I do think Derevyanchenko will give a good account of himself in this fight, but he's just too far gone, man. So for my official prediction, I'm taking Jaime Munguia to win this fight on a unanimous decision victory in an 8-4 type of fight where Derevyanchenko has a few moments. So that's my 2 cents on this fight. Not something I'm very interested in. It's on the same night as Josh Taylor and Teofimo Lopez, and I think we all know which fight we're going to be watching on the night, and it ain't that one. So, but with that being said, I got Jaime Munguia winning this fight in a competitive 8-4 type of unanimous decision. So with that being said, God bless everybody. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. Hope you're enjoying the summertime sunshine. God bless you all, and please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe. Take care, guys. Salud.